Okay, welcome to my first video about the initial setup and overview of the Genie Design Studio software. Over on the right hand side here, we've got this general assistant. We can go in the gallery, which gives us all the commands, and the program we'll visit later when we actually run a simulation. This area here is where you lay out your flowchart. The first thing you need to do is go to the program menu, program settings, and tell the software which version of Genie board that you're going to be working with. In the case of the ones at Lowestoft College, you need to pick the Genie C20. And what you can see from that is this particular Genie board has 8 digital inputs, D0 to D7, and 8 digital outputs, Q0 to Q7. So having done that, now we're ready to start setting up our initial program. Now what we're going to do here is do a very simple program to turn an output on whilst an input is turned on, and then the output goes off when it's not turned on. So first of all, we need a digital decision of an input. We then connect to our start. Okay, we need, if we double click that, we can set that to an input number. I'm going to pick input 2. So what we're saying there is when the push button 2 goes high, logic 1, we'll actually get a yes decision from this particular test. Okay, so having done that, we're now ready to say what we want to do if the switch is on, and in case we want to send an output high. The first thing that you connect to a decision is always the yes, and then you can connect the no afterwards. So what we want to do here is turn output, let's say Q2, high, if that decision on D2 is correct. Once we've done that, we then have to have a return from that high, and it's got to go back up to ask the question again, is the switch still on? Now the remaining thing that we have to do is deal with what happens when the switch isn't depressed, the no decision from D2. What we need to do with that here is make sure that if the switch isn't on, we actually return the Q2 output to low, turn it off again. We now have a complete program for this particular simple exercise that would turn on output Q2 and anything connected to it when D2 is on, and turn it off again when D2 is off. So you can actually simulate that program without any particular Genie board or equipment connected, and you can see the flow chart actually running, and you can operate, turn the inputs and outputs on, and see things happening. So to do that, we click the run, simulate the active design, or press F9. So when we do that, it says that the program is simulating, and you can see it going round this D2 low Q2 decision loop here, because that particular D2 input at this moment in time is not on. There's two ways we can turn that on. We can either go to it individually and say we want to turn D2 on, it goes high, let go, it goes off. Or we can view the digital inputs and outputs in this panel over here, which is probably the better way to do it. because then it stays up, and we can turn that on and we see the output go high in a list, let it go, and it goes off again. The other thing we can do is if we press the shift key whilst clicking on the particular input, it stays on. So that allows you to deal with the switch situation. It also allows you to turn on any input that would have a normally closed situation, like a stop button. And then when we click on it again, it goes low and the output turns off. So best to have a go at that now. See if you can get a program like that working, and then watch some of the other videos and do some of the exercises available on the site.